The ultimate tournament of everything.
Welcome to this Tournament of Everything Scouting Report, where we take a look at just one competitor and the vastness that is the entirety of everything and figure out how they would do in our tournament.
Truly. What was everything before it was anything? Well, that's what we seek to discover here in the Ultimate Tournament of Everything Scouting Reports. Prior to their appearance, inevitably, in the first round of the Ultimate Tournament of Everything, we take a look at their attributes and possibilities for victory in, when they do show up. So, Rob, why don't you tell us who we're going to be looking at tonight?
Our randomly selected competitor off Wikipedia is none other than the writer George Geary Bennis.
Okay, the big GGB coming out. This is the writer, originally from Limerick in Ireland, born 1790, lived till 1866, a good long life. At different times, he worked as a grocer, a librarian, a newspaper editor, and he's chiefly remembered as a prodigious book collector who bequeathed enough volumes to his native city of Limerick to form the basis of a library.
Now, it would only be in 1893 that the first public library in Limerick was actually opened, but I'm sure they had some of his books there when it did. Bennis was born in Corklemore, in Limerick, in the southern part of Ireland, probably in 1790, although there are sources giving his birth year as 1793. His first work was as a grocer, but while still a young man, he relocated to Liverpool in mainland Britain, where it is thought he joined the Quakers, not the Beatles.
In 1816, he would publish, probably based on his experience with the Quakers, a book entitled The Principles of the One Faith Professed by All Christians. This was reprinted in Paris in 1826. He moved to London. He moved around quite a bit, wrote a few things, and he was always gathering other literature.
During his Paris years, he also took work as an insurance agent and was at one stage employed as a librarian at the British Embassy. Meanwhile, his membership of the Religious Society of Friends, also known as the Quakers, had lapsed, although he continued to espouse Quaker principles.
He also edited Gagliani, a news journal described in several sources as, quote, the Times of Paris. He was honored in 1854 with the Legion of Honor, although at a detailed level, sources differ over why.
Now, he was still living in Paris at the time of a coup in 1851 and lost a large amount of property in the disturbances that briefly ensued. And a few years later, it was reported that he came close to being burned to death when fire engulfed government bakeries at the time of the Crimean War. Not the one going on now, a different one.
History does seem to repeat itself, and I'm going to repeat myself a little bit more because, his honor was. We're not exactly sure why he was honored, but Rob's previous statement sheds a little bit of light. One version of him getting that title was that he had saved the life of King Louis Philippe when the king was subjected to an assassination attempt. But another is content to merely record that in 1848, he saved the king's life during a street fracas.
That's a word we don't use often enough, fracas.
I like it. I like it very much.
The statement is that at the time of that revolution, he peacefully retook the royal flag for which he was knighted by the king. May or may not have actually happened.
We do know that this George Geary Bennis did happen until he died in Paris in January of 1866 and was buried in the city where he would last forever, just like he's going to last forever here in the Ultimate Tournament of Everything.
That's right. Now, what doesn't last forever are these episodes. These are the short ones. You can get one every day of the week that's not a Tuesday or a Thursday. And on a Tuesday or a Thursday, if you have an hour to spare, we'd love to sit with you as we look at 18 of Wikipedia's finest competitors to figure out how competitive they are against literally everything else.
That's right. Now you can try and sit, but this is so exciting that you're going to be jumping out of your seat. Don't forget, people, this is the ultimate tournament of all things. And so when you're excited, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and scream to the heavens that the ultimate podcast of everything, ultimate tournament of everything, is your favorite podcast coming out every single day. Speaking of, we'll see you tomorrow.
The ultimate tournament of everything.